All right, so today we're going to be taking a look at the Greenworks universal line. Now, this is the 0.095 diameter of line, and this is what it looks like here. So you got two ends of the line for the dual head. Now, this is a brand new weed eater, and I don't need to change the line, but I'm curious of how to change the line when it comes to that time. So I went with the Greenworks line, and it is a 5-pack of refills, 16 foot in each line. So I was looking at the weed eater itself, and on the bump head, this is what we have here. It's marked load, and the load is where your line is going to come out or where your line is actually going to go in. And then if you were feeding it from the outside, right, you're going to feed the line in, and then you're going to twist the head. Now, and that's going to wind it in, and then you've got your cutter here so that you get the correct length. So what I was curious about was if this gets jammed up on the inside. Everybody knows if you've had a dual string weed eater, inside the line can sometimes get crossed and hung up, and then you got to do something about it. Well, on this head, this is what we have. We've got a push button right here, and then we got a push button on the other side as well. And I just want to show you what this looks like on the inside. And it can end up being a mess if you're not careful. So don't just rip that off there if you still got line in there. Pull those out real slowly so that you can keep track of everything, and everything goes back in where it's supposed to go. Now, there's also a spring in here that you want to make sure that you do not lose, because that's a very important piece. So this is what it looks like coming from the factory. You got your line wound on there already, and the head does tell you which way to wind. There's an arrow going that way, so you're going to turn your head that way when you are adding your line to it. But you can see how you've got that possibility or that chance of that line hanging up in there, and then you struggling to get that out. Once you get all your line in the correct position and you feed that all back through, you want to make sure that your clips line up. Now, that's a movable part of the head, so you can position your line in there, your spool, and then you can go in just like that and make sure that everything is working right. And that should, hypothetically speaking, go right back in there. Okay, so rather than fight with the line trying to get it back into the head, I went ahead and just unwound all the line. So this is what we have straight from the factory, is about 6 foot of line. Now, I've used this one time, so I've not used up too much line. I'm 5 foot 4 inches, and so I'm sure we got about 6 foot of line on each side. The line is going to be inserted through here until it catches, and then that's not going to pull out until the line has unwound, and then centrifugal force will just pull that out. So the next thing that I want to do here, this would be just like I was replacing new line on here. I'm going to feed this through the holes, and I'm going to do it on both sides, actually. I'm going to pull it all the way through. And then I'm going to do the other side the exact same way. And I'm going to feed that through there as well, and I'm going to pull it all the way out. And the reason I'm going to pull it all the way out is because once you get your head mounted, then you can wind it. Now, again, you want to make sure that you are paying attention to your load marks, and you also want to make sure that you're paying attention to your clips. So both of those have snapped into place, and then it says to wind that way. All I'm going to do is turn my head, and I'm going to wind my line in. And you've got yourself a cutter right here, and so you can wind that in past the cutter if you want, right close to it. And then I got this side here, which is a little bit long. I'm just going to go ahead and hit it with a pair of cutters, and we're good to go. So it's just really that easy. Now, when it's time to change the line, we know how to do it. We're just going to slip this in through the load, and then we're going to get it connected, and we're just going to twist the head, and we're going to be good to go.